All right. So in this video, we're going to see Trump Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and Trump White House Press Secretary, Karoline Leavitt. And they're going to try and just completely gaslight the entire country about the 2016 election. And, you know, Donald Trump's whole persecution thing, it's genuinely a masterclass in trying to bend reality. You're going to watch Gabbard, with a completely straight face, try to sell a narrative that is so obviously false. It's almost impressive. Just pay close attention to how they get defensive and then immediately pivot to portraying Donald Trump as this ultimate victim, a guy who has never ever done anything wrong in his whole life. It's a total spectacle. As usual, let's watch the video in full. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts towards the end.
For Director Gabbard, a spokesperson for former President Obama said in a statement earlier this week, quote, "Nothing in the documents issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes." How do you respond to critics like former President Obama and also others on the Hill who say that the administration is conflating apples and oranges here, conflating allegations of actual hacking of voter machines and allegations of interference generally?
I think it's a disservice to the American people that former President Obama's office and others who are criticizing the transparency that is being delivered by releasing these documents. They are doing a disservice to the American people and trying to deflect away from their culpability in what is a historic scandal and negative action towards the American people and our democratic republic. The answer to that statement can very clearly be found throughout all of the documents that we have released. Again, showing that Russia has took action to try to sow discord in the election, but showed no preference for or against any singular candidate.
You've long been an opponent of weaponization in government. How do you respond to criticism that referring Obama administration officials and even potentially the former president is just more weaponization and this is a potential race to the bottom?
I think that's a very disrespectful attack on the American people who deserve the truth. They deserve to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic, which has been undermined by President Obama through his direction of this manufactured fake intelligence document, knowing that it was filled with lies and knowing that it would and could then be used for all of the actions that came after.
Karoline, and I would just add, there needs to be accountability for that weaponization, Phil, that we've seen. And no one has been a victim of the weaponized government more than President Trump, not just because of this political scandal. You all recall his house was raided. So I think, it's very disingenuous for people to say, how dare they speak of former President Obama about this based on evidence and based on intelligence when the former president of the United States, Donald Trump's home was raided, when he was forced to sit in a Manhattan courtroom and many other courtrooms across the country for crimes he never committed, when he was impeached and indicted, and the entire country witnessed that. That's the weaponization of justice. Now the president is back because the American people see the truth. Nearly 80 million Americans reelected him back to this office, and he believes that we need to have justice and accountability. And I think the nearly 80 million Americans who reelected him agree with that. Caitlin.
So yeah, it's pretty clear these people have no damn shame. Like, seriously. They're bending over backwards trying to push this baseless BS, all for their dear Lord and Savior, Donald freaking Trump. And we all know what this is really about, right? It's deflection. Straight up distraction. They're just trying to take the Epstein heat off their guy. But this little stunt, it ain't gonna work. Not even close. We see through it. And we're gonna keep talking about that Epstein file and Trump's little friendship with his best pal. So, they just took these easily verifiable facts and poof, pretended they didn't exist. The core argument here, the thesis they're pushing is that any criticism or legal trouble for Donald Trump is just weaponization from his enemies. It's like the history we all lived through just didn't happen. They're trying to build this completely alternate reality. Okay, let me start with Gabbard's claim that Russia showed no preference for or against any singular candidate. In my opinion, that's one of the most dishonest things you could say about this entire topic. It's not what actually happened in 2016. Like, come on. The top US intelligence agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, they all agreed Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help Trump. That was the bipartisan conclusion. Even the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee backed that up in this massive, like, 1,000-page report. So when Tulsi says there was no preference for a candidate, it's just false. Russia hacked the DNC, leaked Clinton's emails through WikiLeaks, and ran this giant online propaganda campaign boosting Trump and trying to suppress Clinton voters. And again, this comes directly from the Mueller indictments and the public court records. For her to stand there and say otherwise is a disservice to the American people, to use her own words. Okay, and remember all of the wild stuff he said before, right? I'll be a dictator on day one. I'm going to go after my enemies. He promised that. Well, guess what? Now he's in office. Now he's got the power. This isn't some theoretical warning anymore. This is real. He's sitting in the White House, and he's got the entire Justice Department, the military, the intelligence community, all of it's at his fingertips. And if you think for 1 second he's not going to try to use that power to settle scores and punish people he hates, you haven't been paying attention. This man is not subtle. And now, look at what's unfolding right in front of our own eyes. He told us exactly what he was going to do, and now he's doing it. Let's just call it what it is. When they say Trump is a victim, you have to look at why he's been investigated. It's because of his own actions. He's been indicted multiple times for what he did. Hiding top secret classified documents at his golf club, trying to overturn an election, pressuring state officials to find votes, and inciting an insurrection. I mean, no one is above the law. The whole idea that his home was raided for crimes he never committed is just a lie. The evidence that he committed those crimes is just, it's overwhelming. And this brings me to my next point. This idea that Obama and Trump are somehow in the same league, it is a completely disingenuous comparison. I mean, come on. Obama didn't try to overthrow democracy. He didn't incite violence against his own government. He didn't steal classified documents or ask foreign countries for dirt on his opponent. Trump did all of that, and it's all documented. There's no comparison. And you know what they conveniently leave out? January 6th. They never mention that when they talk about weaponization. Trump told his supporters to march to the Capitol and fight like hell. And when they stormed the building, beating police officers and calling to hang his own vice president, he sat in the White House watching it on TV for hours and did nothing. People died. They can call it a weaponized narrative. We all saw it happen live on TV. He tried to end American democracy to stay in power. Look, if we really care about the truth here, the evidence is what matters, right? The talking points from people like Gabbard and Leavitt are just noise. The evidence, though, it's all out there in public government reports, court filings, and indictments. You can go read the government's own documents. What they're doing is just, it's an insult to everyone's intelligence. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. While you guys are down there, do me a massive favor, hit that subscribe button, and also give the video a thumbs up as well. I appreciate you guys, and as usual, I will see you guys in the next one.